Winning the War Within. In the sun-soaked city of Austin, Texas, where music poured from street corners and ambition hummed as loud as summer cicadas, lived a young man named Roman Ellis. From the outside, Roman's life appeared steady. At 28, he worked as a junior analyst in a downtown firm overlooking Lady Bird Lake. He wore crisp button-down shirts, carried a worn leather briefcase, and spoke confidently in meetings. But inside him raged a war no one could see. It was a silent war. A war between who he was and who he believed he should be. Every morning, Roman stood in front of his bathroom mirror, studying his reflection like an opponent. His thoughts came like familiar shadows: you're behind. You're not talented enough. Everyone else is building something bigger. He compared himself constantly, to former classmates launching startups, to influencers celebrating milestones online, to friends buying homes and posting engagement photos beneath glowing Texas sunsets. The world seemed to be accelerating. Roman felt parked. The truth was, Roman once dreamed differently. In college, he wanted to build something meaningful, an app that would connect volunteers to underserved communities in real time. He imagined bridging gaps between people who wanted to help and those who desperately needed it. He had notebooks full of ideas. Diagrams. Early code. Vision. Then life shifted. His mother's health began to decline, and medical bills stacked up faster than hope. Stability became priority. Dreams moved to the background. After graduation, Roman took the first secure job he could find. Security turned into routine. Routine turned into comfort. Comfort slowly turned into quiet dissatisfaction. The dream didn't die. It waited. Everything changed the night of his college reunion. The event was held on a rooftop overlooking the Austin skyline. The city lights shimmered beneath a warm breeze. Laughter rose with clinking glasses. Conversations buzzed with promotions, tech ventures, and big opportunities. Roman smiled. Congratulated. Nodded. But inside, something cracked. When he returned to his apartment that night, he didn't turn on the lights. He sat in the dark, listening to the hum of the air conditioner and the echo of comparison in his mind. "What happened to you?" he whispered. It wasn't self-hate. It was disappointment. That night marked the true beginning of his battle. Not against his job. Not against his circumstances. But against himself. The next morning, instead of reaching for his phone, Roman opened an old drawer in his desk. Inside were notebooks, the remains of his unfinished vision. He flipped through the pages slowly. The ink was faded, but the passion wasn't. Fear rose instantly. What if you try and fail? What if you're not capable? What if it's too late? The war had a voice. But this time, Roman didn't shut the drawer. He grabbed a pen. He wrote down every fear. Every doubt. Every worst-case scenario. Then beneath each one, he wrote a response. What if you fail? Then you grow. What if you're not capable? Then you learn. What if it's too late? It's later than yesterday, but earlier than regret. For the first time, Roman realized something powerful: the war within wasn't about eliminating fear. It was about refusing to obey it. He began waking up 1 hour earlier. No announcements. No social media declarations. No applause. Just discipline. Before sunrise, while the city still slept, Roman coded at his kitchen table. After work, he studied new programming frameworks. On weekends, he refined his prototype. Progress was slow. The app crashed repeatedly. Features malfunctioned. An early collaborator withdrew interest. Each setback tried to validate his old fears. One night, after hours of debugging ended in failure, Roman slammed his laptop shut. Maybe this was a mistake, he muttered. The war grew louder. He left his apartment and walked along the Anne and Roy Butler hike-and-bike trail. The water of Lady Bird Lake reflected city lights, calm yet persistent. As he stood there, watching gentle ripples move around anchored boats, a realization surfaced: the water didn't stop because something blocked it. It adjusted, flowed around, continued forward. Resistance wasn't a signal to retreat. It was proof of movement. The next morning, Roman reopened his laptop. Not because he felt fearless, but because he chose courage. Months passed. Tiny wins began to stack up. A bug that once seemed impossible finally resolved. A nonprofit agreed to test the beta version. A volunteer sent feedback praising its simplicity. One message stood out: "Your platform helped me find a local food bank to support this weekend. I've been wanting to help but didn't know where to start. Thank you." Roman stared at the screen for a long time. It wasn't viral success. It wasn't headlines. But it was impact. And that was enough to keep going. Still, the war within evolved. His workload at the firm increased. Fatigue crept in. Doubt returned with new arguments: "You can't keep this up. Choose security. Stop exhausting yourself." Roman realized the battle wasn't about perfection. It was about consistency. So he simplified his approach. On busy days, he committed to 30 focused minutes. On better days, he pushed further. He stopped aiming for dramatic leaps and focused on steady steps. Consistency became his weapon. Self-belief became his armor. 1 year after reopening that drawer, Roman stood inside a modest community center in East Austin. On the wall behind him was a projected screen displaying his fully launched app, UnityLink. Local nonprofit leaders, volunteers, and community organizers filled the room. His hands trembled slightly as he began. "I built this because I realized something," Roman said. "Many people want to help, but connection is the missing link. We don't always know where we're needed." He paused. And sometimes the biggest barrier in life isn't opportunity. It's the story we tell ourselves about why we can't pursue it. As he demonstrated the app, he wasn't just presenting software. He was presenting victory. Not over critics. Not over competitors. But over the voice that once convinced him he wasn't enough. UnityLink didn't explode overnight. It grew steadily. Partnerships formed. Volunteer sign-ups increased. Local news featured a short segment about the initiative. 6 months later, Roman faced the decision that once terrified him. He resigned from his corporate job. This time, when he walked out of the glass building downtown, it wasn't in doubt. It was in alignment. He had savings, momentum, faith, and most importantly, belief. He finally understood something the war had taught him: confidence doesn't come before action. It grows because of action. Years later, Roman was invited to speak at a university entrepreneurship seminar in Austin. Standing before a room of ambitious students, he didn't glorify success. He spoke about fear. About comparison. About starting small. "Everyone talks about conquering markets and changing industries," he said. "But the hardest battle you'll ever fight is inside your own mind." Silence filled the room. "You don't win that war in one dramatic moment," Roman continued. "You win it quietly, when you show up without applause. When you keep going without guarantees. When you choose growth over comfort." After the talk, a student approached him. "I feel stuck," she admitted. "Like I'm capable of more, but I'm scared." Roman smiled knowingly. "Fear doesn't mean stop," he said gently. "It means you're standing at the edge of something meaningful." As he walked across campus under the wide Texas sky, Roman reflected on his journey. The war within never fully disappears. Doubt still whispers on difficult days. Uncertainty still lingers before big decisions. But now, those voices are echoes, not commanders. He learned that growth feels uncomfortable before it feels triumphant. He learned that resilience is built in repetition. He learned that winning the war within isn't about silencing fear completely. It's about strengthening the warrior. Roman once believed he needed validation to prove his worth. Now he understood something deeper: worth isn't earned through comparison. It's discovered through courage. The world still moved fast. Success still looked glamorous online. But Roman no longer measured his progress against others. He measured it against his own potential, and each day he chose discipline over doubt, effort over excuses, courage over comfort. He claimed another victory. Winning the war within didn't make life easier. It made him stronger. Because when you conquer the doubts that once controlled you, when you refuse to bow to the voice that says, "You can't," when you move forward despite uncertainty, you don't just change your situation. You transform who you are. The battlefield was never the city. Never the job. Never the competition. It was always the mind. And Roman Ellis, once imprisoned by hesitation, became proof that the fiercest wars produce the strongest souls. The war within begins in silence. But victory? Victory echoes for a lifetime.